thoughts running around my head. Been playing it cool, but I've been pulling the thread. Maybe I'm too hard on myself, and maybe it ain't good for my health. All I want is, all I want to feel your love. That's all I want. That's all I want. To feel your love. All I want is.
Reaching out, and my heart is with you. So much in between, things we've never seen. You're a mirage that my mind can't see through. Are you here with me? One day we can see. And all my life, unbroken ways. But I know that time makes ways. But I know that time makes ways.
Justin Champagne emerging as an early championship favorite, winning 3 of the first 4 races, sweeping Daytona, then taking the checkered flag at Homestead.
The return to Daytona a week later led to 2 new season winners. Gary Owen winning on fuel mileage and Briar LaPrade outlasting the big one.
After 8,000 cautions at Martinsville, David Schildhouse found victory lane at Talladega, making his statement for the title.
Then, more cautions at the Glen. Briar LaPrade scoring 2 podium finishes to inch closer towards the point lead.
Last week at Wilkesboro, Briar LaPrade kicked the door down. A first and a second to triumphantly take the championship lead.
The defending champ Frisch still has a shot, despite no wins and only 2 podium finishes this season.
LaPrade,
Schildhouse,
Owen,
Frisch,
and Champagne.
5 drivers,
2 races.
1 trophy on the line.
The Soundhead Entertainment 250.
Next.
Tinsley sends it to the outside. He can't get there. Kevin King is going to win the Barbizzel FTF Cup Series.
Into the lead. Bud gets wrecked in front of the pack. He saves it. 3-4 wide as they come to the white flag.
Here comes Vargas down on the apron. They are 5 wide. Ian Plash will win it at the line. Is this package? Oh, there goes Jordan Lopez Jr. That's your race leader. Caution flag is out.
Still no one willing to give up as they are going to be dead even off of the first chicane.
Oh, he saves it. What's going to happen here? Here comes the canvas. Oh, get your front there.
He's got it. He's got it. Get there. No.
This is going to win. Car presented by SimWrapMarket welcomes you to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the Soundhead Entertainment 250, your championship race live from Atlanta. Glad to have you with us for one last time already this year. It's a short season, but hopefully we'll be back with some fun stuff for you eventually over the summer. Jacob Pitts, Caleb Hoffman with you. Benjamin Easterday is our race control. I don't know why I introduced him, but I did. Zach Johnson's our producer. Eric Messer's on social media. And we've got more than 20 drivers, Caleb, on the racetrack. 5 of those drivers have a shot at the championship.
Yeah, and I mean that's the big thing here tonight is usually in years past, you look at our past seasons here, and when it comes down to Atlanta, you have usually like 2 guys duking it out. Like last year we had Briar and Frisch obviously for that championship, but coming into tonight we have 5 drivers that are mathematically in contention, and we'll follow along with you with the points battle there. But it's crazy how much flux we could see here tonight.
Let's show the points if we can coming into tonight. I know you saw them at the end of last week's race at North Wilkesboro, and it's pretty tight, but right now it screams Briar LaPrade. He's out in front by more than 20 points over David Schildhouse. He's got Gary Owen right behind him, then Michael P. Frisch, then Justin Champagne. And, once we get the chance to look at the points, we'll kind of sort of be able to explain how everything could maybe shake out tonight. But really, Caleb, coming into it reasonably, it's a 2-horse race.
Yeah, so the 3 on back, so that would be Gary Owen, who is sitting in 3rd. You have Michael P. Frisch, the defending champion, in 4th, and then Justin Champagne in 5th. And those 3 right now are a long shot, and realistically, we could see them eliminated by the end of race 1. Now, that depends on how many points that Briar accrues through this first race, because it's a max of 40, and if you're more than 40 points back on Briar here going into race 2, then unfortunately you're going to be out of championship contention, and that's what guys like David Schildhouse, especially in 2nd, really want to see.
Now, I think what helps Briar here more than anything is the fact that right now, as of my last count, we only have, I think, 21. Now make it, I think, 22 now that Jordan Worth is connected, 22 drivers here. So it's a smaller field than what we've seen much of the year. So, this opens up the window for Breyer to have a little bit more of a cushion because he knows he can't lose as many points because he can't finish back in the bottom 20s and only come away with 2 or 3.
And I mean, another big thing too to watch here is there are, I believe, 3 guys in our top 5 that have not yet used their drop week, and that'll be huge in terms of how the final results play out. And again, we'll have that for you as we get later into it. But I mean, again, the amount of positions in flux here within this top 5 here in the last race is, I mean, it's unprecedented.
If we can get a look at the points now, you'll be able to see, well, exactly what we're talking about instead of us just vomiting words at you. There we go. So, again, Breyer, your leader. Now, he missed the first 2 races to start the year. So he's already used his drop week. That would have been Daytona. He has a goose egg from Homestead. Otherwise, he would have a much higher point total. But, I mean, look at this. 76 at Daytona the second time around. Had a win there. 76 at Martinsville. Got the checkered flag there. Talladega was his worst finish outside the top 20, but he finished 5th in race 1, so only a 39 there. Watkins Glen, he won a race. North Wilkesboro, he won a race and finished 2nd. He has almost maxed out his points in every race he's been in this season, and that's why he has a shot at the title.
Yeah, I mean, looking on back, there are so many storylines here. Obviously, with Breyer, he had that just amazing run down the stretch. David Schildhouse as well has just been Mr. Consistent so far. You know, you see on that drop week, well, you did on Homestead, his drop week as of right now is 33 points, which is insane that he is, you know, all but guaranteed at least 33 points here tonight, given that drop week. So he's been fantastic this season. Gary Owen's been quiet, but does have that win at Daytona to back him up. Michael P. Frisch, obviously your defending champion. And then looking back into 5th place, Justin Champagne, who was the championship favorite, really, you know, 5 or 6 rounds into the season. And it looked like it was going to be his year finally, but really cooled off here these last few weeks, and he's going to need something big to come out of here a champion.
So while we're here, I know we wanted to get the chance, hopefully, to talk with some of our championship drivers or championship potential drivers. And again, those 5, David Schildhouse, Breyer LaPrade, who is your championship leader, Goen, Justin Champagne, and Michael P. Frisch. So we are about 8 laps away from getting things rolling, and we'll talk with our 4th place driver here, Caleb, and I'll let you do the honors with the LOTF runner-up, Michael Frisch.
Yeah, and Michael P. Frisch right now sitting 4th in the standings, and you've been in this situation before where you're in contention here at the end here at Atlanta, albeit in a little bit of a different position from last year with Breyer, obviously not starting the race. So what's on your mind? How do you think you're gonna try to come out of here a champion?
Honestly, us being so far back, just go out there and try to win this first race. Honestly, that's the best thing we can probably do. If we want to have a chance in the second race to even have a shot at it, but this first race is probably going to be the most important tonight. Really got to have, hopefully Breyer struggles, get involved some incidents, but that's not been the case this year for him this season. He's been up front, leading laps, and he's been the commander of the field. So hopefully some voodoo goes on. I don't know, so I won't put a doll in his car, but something's got to change tonight. So hopefully I'm the common denominator.
Yeah, and I mean, on a smaller scale for you, you said you want to go out here and win the race. So we saw last week trying something new with this weather here. You see in Sim, it is currently morning time around 8:30 to 9 o'clock to try to promote, just a little more grip. So how does that kind of affect the way you're gonna handle this race?
Well, starting from the morning, we'll probably have the most grip, and then as the session probably goes on, we'll probably lose grip. That's just the way the temperatures are going to rise. So I think we'll see a lot of people up against the wall. Honestly, here at Atlanta with the ARCA car, just keep the momentum up out of the corners and whatnot, because going to the bottom, if you make one slip up, you get loose out of the exit, it really kills your speed. And so I think we'll see a lot of guys up towards the wall tonight.
Well, absolutely. We'll keep our eye on that. Good luck tonight that is the driver of the number 58, currently 4th place in standings, Michael P. Frisch.
And that is Frisch. By the way, just want to mention that when Breyer came into the session, he said that, you know what? If I get dumped in race number 1 for it to be a closer championship fight, allegedly he's okay with that. So we'll ask him.
But, as us racers, some of us, we like to go out and not win it that way. So I'd like to have a legitimate shot and win it the real way and not get a Mickey Mouse like last season. So yeah, I don't want to see him get wrecked.
All right, Frisch, best of luck. We'll see you in a bit. That is Michael P. Frisch. We'll talk now with 3rd place, Gary Owen. Hi.
Awkward. Hello. What you doing?
That's the joy of live television. So, you got your win back at Daytona earlier this year, and this is not a league, not a point system where it's win and you're in, but that win kind of propelled you into the situation to be a contender for the championship coming into the last race.
Yeah, I did, and I still have no idea how I got here, but I guess we do now because of the Daytona win. We will take it. I'll be real with you guys. Who am I up against? It's LaPrade, Schildhouse, and then Champagne and Frisch, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm screwed. So, realistically, this is my worst oval in iRacing. So, there is no shot. I am just here for the recognition that I made it this far.
Well, 12th in Season 3 here.
Is that what I got, really?
7th last year. I get it's 2 races this time around, but with those numbers, you finished 2nd last week at Wilkesboro in race number 2 with the carnage going on behind you. Do you still think you have a shot? Do you like those odds?
Well, let me look at... I look at the names we have in here, and I see like Jonathan Cadell, Travis Brown, Harry Taylor. Maybe there's some guaranteed chaos on the way, and that could maybe benefit me. They're all really fast, but they do get some shenanigans going, so maybe I'll just kind of let them do that. Hopefully wreck David, Breyer, and everybody in front of me, and then I can just maybe sneak into like a top 3. Do you guys know what I need to stay in mathematically going into race 2?
So all the drivers that are in contention need to be within 40 points. It'll be more than that once we know all who's here. Right now we've got, 23 drivers in the session. So I'm thinking you guys will probably need to be within about 35 points. 35 points of Breyer to have a shot. Outside of that, you're more than likely eliminated. But like I said, it all depends on our final total of drivers in race 2. Nobody else is registered for the session right now, so we're looking at 23 cars, so maybe anywhere between 35 and 33 points.
So what you're saying is, if I get the opportunity, I need to wreck people?
Potentially.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep it as clean as possible. Nothing will be intentional if I wreck anybody.
All right, Gary, thanks for your time. Best of luck. Hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this deal.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, guys.
That's Gary Owen. And quickly, 2nd place. Let's talk with David Schildhouse. Caleb?
Yeah, here with David Schildhouse right now, currently sitting in 2nd in points. And really, you're one of the only guys here that really does feel like you're in striking distance. How do you really take the fight to LaPrade here today?
I'm going to do exactly that. I'm just going to go out and wreck him. All right, I'm going to take the fight right to him and just wreck him. It's pretty much the simplest answer. No, listen, it's been a really fun season. I didn't even expect to be in this position, to be honest with you. So to have a chance at this championship, it's cool. So I got to just go out and execute, worry about myself, and look at it as I got 100 laps to make up as many points as possible. You never know what could happen in these races. I just got to put myself in a position to take advantage of whatever comes my way.
Yeah, that's where we're going to transition next is with Breyer LaPrade. Is he kind of in the forefront of your mind, or you just, like you said, kind of focusing on yourself? How do you do that and race a track like Atlanta here that is you're going to have tire fall off and you're going to wear quickly, and it's all going to be about throttle control, all that.
I'm going to be honest with you. The conditions here tonight, especially the track conditions, are a lot different than I was expecting coming in. The track's a lot tighter. The car's driving off the right front, and I was expecting it to drive off the right rear. And that's really kind of thrown me for a loop. I think that's really going to change how these races play out overall. Track position is going to matter more. It's going to be harder to pass. And so it really just, with us starting in the back, I don't really know what to think. We're going to have to pass a lot of cars to make any sort of productive headway. And the difficulty in passing that we're probably going to see here tonight, it's going to make for one very fascinating night in the core to settle a championship. Is it 22 points worth of interesting? I don't know. It's going to take some outside circumstances happening to Breyer for me to really think that I'm going to be able to take it from him, or someone else is going to jump up there. But the approach, Caleb, is one lap at a time. That's all I can worry about is myself, and one lap at a time.
All right. Well, that's second place, David Schildhouse, and we'll watch from up here as you try to come home with the championship. Good luck here tonight.
I appreciate it. The children will be watching. Big shout out to Market Rebellion. Keep an eye on the 20. We're going to make it fun.
That's David Schildhouse, Jacob.
We'll talk with your championship leader, Breyer LaPrade, quickly as we just got to the end of practice, and I understand that we might actually be able to see you, unlike the other folks that we talked to. Yeah, there he is. All right, nonetheless, I heard you come into the session and say that you would be okay if you got dumped in this race to make it a closer championship fight. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah. I'd be great doing an interview while I'm racing and everything. I even, hang on, let me give me 1 minute. Here we go. Here we got our race snacks in case we get in the middle of it. I'm just here having fun time. We got to make up for the championship last year because it's supposed to be a really, really close battle between me and Frisch. So if people want to take me out, I mean, we could set up a bounty somehow. I don't know if people want to, but yeah, I'm down for whatever. I just want to make it fun. Here to have fun, and hopefully we win the championship. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know, just whatever happens, happens. I guess let's have fun.
All right, Breyer, we'll let you go. Get ready to go while we get through the grid. And starting from back to front, best of luck. We'll see you at the end of this deal.
Thank you.
That's Breyer LaPrade. And let's take a look at our grid and everything here from Atlanta. Team Rick is the proud sponsor of the Team Rick Pole Award, given what will be the lowest driver in point standings at each Core League event. This week belongs to Garrett Smithley. We've got two Xfinity guys on the front row. Why? Because each of them have only made one start this year. Since 2022, Team Rick has awarded less than $0 as part of Core's Pole Reward program. The starting grid brought to you by Ed Soundhead. Looks like that just broke as well. Garrett Smithley and Anthony Alfredo going to lead us around. Jordan Worth left, and Rusty missed the start. So yeah, it's a hot mess here coming to green, Caleb. All right, and he's muted. So the wheels have really... Strugglebus.png. That's where we're at right now. Breyer and Schildhouse, basically your championship gentlemen, they all start at the back. And everybody else going to be starting in front of him. It's Smithley and Alfredo. Again, two Xfinity Series drivers starting on the front row because they've only made one start this season. There's your weather. Your track temp, it says 72. It is pretty cool for Atlanta. We're starting at 9 a.m. in Sim, so that way the track isn't too hot and these drivers can actually handle getting around here. Cozy's not on the racetrack as well. We start at 9, like every other week. Whatever. 22 drivers, even though it's actually 19, take the green flag. We're racing for the second to last time here at Atlanta. Green flag. Four wide in the back of the field, headed to turn number 3. Cosman almost dropped the car in turn 2, was able to keep it pointed in the right direction. Anthony Alfredo got a black flag, by the way, because the restart zone's broken, but he leads lap 1.
And I mean, you already see everybody starting to fan out here, running all 3 lanes. You have guys on the bottom, in the middle, all the way up to the top. You see drive-through with Blake McCandless right now, and I mean, they're just making use of every inch of surface on this racetrack right now, and expect to see that for the duration of the night. Cosman in the wall.
He's able to keep it going, pointed in the right direction. Problem is, he is going backward. He has dropped several positions. Make it 4 since the drop of the green flag. Nope, I'm reading the wrong number. How about 9? He's dropped 9 since the drop of the green flag. A look at your points. Brian LaPrade, he is running already P5. Closest driver behind him as far as points, that's Schildhouse, P11. He's trying to hold off Justin Champagne right now, 3 wide back here.
Yeah, and this is a tough spot to be in. If you're David Schildhouse, you're watching your championship rival just drive away from you as you see Moonhead Travis Brown tags the wall just a little bit there. But, you know, just trying to drive your race, you got to remind yourself you have plenty of time to get back up with your championship rival. But, man, it sure is frustrating right now just watching him drive away from you.
3 wide, Garrett Smithley on the bottom, Wes Graham up on the high side. Great run for Graham to start. Then your championship leader in the middle there, that pink car. I don't know why he's pink, but he's pink.
Yeah, Brian LaPrade right there on the inside of Wes Graham at the moment, just trying to pick off these guys up at the front. Cody Hicken now taking the lead here. And you see a drive-through as well. I know a lot of these guys were kind of struggling with this racetrack in practice, just trying to figure out where to run and where the speed really is here on the early run. But it looks like as of right now, these guys have kind of figured it out.
Cody Hicken is your race leader. He has passed Anthony Alfredo up on the high side of the racetrack. Here comes Blake McCandless, still in the Juicy Fruit throwback car, looking for second over Alfredo. And car 28 out in front. He has not gone to victory lane in core since the heat days at Daytona, the biggest race of the year last time he took the checkered flag. And he was pretty strong through practice, even though he had the draft to help his laps. He's an early contender here.
Yeah, he absolutely knows what he's doing, but he's got to hold off Blake McCandless right now, and you can see Blake just running that high line all the way up, coming across to the line right now. He's got a run, just a little, about 7/100ths of a second faster there for Blake McCandless, so that margin's not that much. It's just, you can see it right there. That run off the corner he gets from running the high side, that's the difference right now.
19 cars on the racetrack, a big help right now to car number 1 in Brian LaPrade, but he is getting passed by his championship rivals. Champagne has passed him. Here comes Schildhouse to the inside. Sean Butler right behind, not a championship driver, but still a strong car. Drive through on the high side, but back at the front, still side by side.
Yeah, Cody's really sticking strong here on the outside. He has that run on Blake, and he's going to be able to clear him going down into turn 3. You see Blake right now going to fall in line behind him and once again go to back what was working for him. That high line, and again, where you're able to get that momentum off the exit is really where you're going to make up spots here. Looking back in even further right now, Justin Champagne has now moved his way up inside the top 5.
A little bit of a slider there from your race leader up in front of Blake.
And that was big right there. Still side by side. This has been a fantastic battle. But with them they've been side by side for so long. Here comes Anthony Alfredo, who once again was passed by Cody there. But all of a sudden is back in this. And you can see Wes Graham as well starting to make up some time with these guys side by side. Sean Butler, Justin Champagne, another pair that want to make it up front to this lead battle.
Alfredo looking to the inside of McCandless. McCandless holds on the top of the racetrack. Oh, and Blake got the wall on entry. That's going to open up the bottom here for Alfredo and move the Logitech car back out in front. Remember, he won a race back at Watkins Glen. His first start on the season, his first Core Series victory. He's only made 3-4 prior starts on the series?
Yeah, something like that. Either way, it was really impressive what he did to get that victory. And you see here, he's looking for number 2 as he is clear now of Blake McCandless. But Blake having a run right off turn 4.
McCandless may have a shot going to turn 1. Wes Graham has taken the 3rd spot away. Sean Butler has entered the top 5. He's got Champagne and Briar LaPrade right behind. Frisch side by side with Schildhouse. You've got Gabe Wood and Travis there as well. Down the back straightaway. This is 6th, 7th, 8th. Rather, oh gosh. How about 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th right here in this battle?
Yeah, and I mean, this has just been so much fun so far. 12 laps through this event, coming to 13, and it's just been fantastic watching these guys run wherever they want to run. If you want to go to the inside, if you want to go to the middle, if you want to go to the high side, there is speed all over this racetrack right now, and if you're able to make it work, then you can stick with a guy. You can just sit there side by side with him.
Oh, and Case gets turned into the wall by Joey, and Joey tells him not clear. And I don't know. I don't know about that one. Oh! He put him back! Joey Stone tried to do the same thing on the 77, and he gets put into the wall as a result. I don't know where he thought he was going. He says I was on your door, but he was more at his tire. Yeesh.
Yeah, and you can hear the displeasure over the radio right there, and already starting to see guys just trying to make moves here, and just the smallest amount of misjudgment can result in that. And now all of a sudden, Joey Stone with damage off the pace, running a 19th out of 19 cars on the racetrack right now. A tough break for that 5 car.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with the 3 guys that showed up and aren't on the racetrack. Jordan Worth left. I'm not sure what was up with that. Rusty is in the session, as is Cozy, but neither of them are on the racetrack. So I would imagine that they would not get points just for showing up. Here's Briar. Back here, some side-by-side, 3 wide racing. Gabe Wood there on the bottom.
Yeah, and you can see the championship contenders right here with Briar and Frisch. And again, we talked pre-race how it is an uphill battle for this 58 machine as well as the 38 that is right in front of these two. But if you're Michael P. Frisch right now, the last thing you want to do is let Briar LaPrade by you, because that's, absolute worst-case scenario. So I'd imagine he's fighting tooth and nail right now to stay with this 1 car. To no avail at the moment. Looks like he's going to have the run off the corner, though.
Here's Frisch on the bottom. Gabe Wood looking to go to the top. Champagne and Sean Butler racing really hard right in front of these guys. Butler around the outside to hold on to 4th. Alfredo scooting away out in front of McCandless by half a second. And we're closing in on halfway. Cody! Cody got the wall, and Travis got in the back of him. Cosman almost drop kicks him. He's got right front damage. Man, oh man. Now, Joey had a meatball, so he's got a pit. Even though Ben cleared his black. So I guess maybe he doesn't have to pit if it got cleared. Nonetheless, he is well off the pace back here, some 9 seconds behind your race leaders. But as you mentioned there, Caleb, turn 2 wall, got a couple of different cars, and Blake McCandless is pitting this time.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to go to next with Blake McCandless. You see, he's taking the initiative here to come down pit lane. Oh, and I think he might miss it.
Missed it. Oh, Champagne gets turned around. Caution's out. That's going to save McCandless.
Yeah, and that's big for Blake right there, but maybe even bigger for Justin Champagne. Again, he's just in the tail end of mathematically being involved in this championship fight, and the last thing he needs right now is to have this on his plate.
And you know who got him? Championship leader Briar LaPrade.
Hey,
here's your replay.
Right
there
here.
It is. And he lifts. He lifts for Blake.
Man. And again, there's nothing you can do there. It's just kind of a stack-up effect, but really unfortunate that Justin Champagne now is going to be turned by his championship rival. Get another look at it right here. You see Blake just checks up Justin right there, and Breyer, no lift out of that one car, and sends that 38 machine around. And just another tough break in a streak of tough breaks for this 38 car.
So your caution is out for the first time. Champagne right now in the 14th position, and Breyer apologizes over the radio for it. So right now, with how things line up as far as points are concerned, because Schildhaus, remember, he had the drop, so right now this race would count as his drop. He gains a point on Breyer, but he's still 21 points back. That was as they were coming onto the pit lane. And at that point, that would eliminate everybody else.
Yeah, Breyer so far has been running a great race. So if you're one of these three guys that are, I guess we'll call it, on the outside looking in Michael P. Frisch, Gary Owen, and Justin Champagne, you are just desperately hoping that something happens to Breyer LaPrade here. But again, he's just been so hot this season. And as of right now, this one's smooth sailing.
We'll go to a break. Right now, Blake McCandless is your leader because he pitted under that caution flag or at the start of the caution flag. Alfredo will be behind him. We're back after this here on FTF. Back here at Atlanta, under our first caution flag of the night, Rusty is back on the racetrack. He is some 20 laps down. They're going to send McCandless to the back here because he pitted before the caution came out. He thought he had good luck, but instead he's going to drop to the back. By the way, Gabe Wood fell out right before the caution. He's back in, but he's currently sitting on the pit lane right now. He sits 3 laps down. Under this caution, though, drivers talking about how cold the track is, how tight the cars are. Schildhaus, his tires, 33% left on the right front, 98% on the right rear.
Yeah, and I mean, we heard pre-race, David was talking about how it was driving differently than expected. When you come to Atlanta, you usually expect a really loose driving race car, whereas now with the grip levels where they're at, because the track is colder, you were driving off that right front, as he said. And you can see it in those values right there. The fact that he was 33% after, what was that stint, 15, 20 laps maybe? That shows you that we're going to have to probably make another round of pit stops here, and shows you how much the tires are going to matter.
I know they were talking about, the drivers were talking about wanting a change for race 2. I don't think that'll happen, but we'll find out. Alfredo and Butler, your 2 leaders out in front. A live look at the points coming to the restart. David -9. Champagne would be out. You got to be within 30 points of your leader unless we add more drivers in race number 2. Right now it sits at 30 though. Frisch would be right at that, which means there goes Shieldhouse, and Frisch is around. Oh no! Breyer with damage. McCandless gets in it. Joey Stone is involved. Harry Tiller. And I think Breyer got the worst of that.
That is huge. We talked about how Breyer, everybody needed something to happen to Breyer, and that just might have been it. He has damage. They do have a fast repair, but that is big.
How this started, David Schildhouse just flat out lost it. And then they stacked up trying to lift and avoid. And half a dozen cars or more involved. Watch the 20. Oh, we got the apron. You saw him dip underneath the white line, and that kicks him out of shape. Frisch lifts. He gets hit by Tiller. And everybody piles it on in. Travis, drive-through involved. And Travis says we need a ambulance for Blake McCandless. Oh, my. Another angle.
And you see it right here with Shieldhouse. And just a stack-up effect.
Oh, and Champagne. Did you see that? Champagne pushed Breyer into that.
It's payback for the first caution there on Champagne. But I think we got all 5 championship contenders in that one. But as you said, Breyer with the worst of that.
So we're back under the caution flag, just like that. And a lot of cars taking it to pit road to try and fix the damage. Breyer is going to fix it. He's not going to use his fast repair here. So he's going to drop to 18th. Frisch is also going to save his fast repair. He fits at 17th. Your points right now, if this race were to end, David Schildhouse would be 1 point back on Breyer going into the final race. 1. Going would be 21 back. Champagne would be 28 back. He'd be in the picture. And then Going right now sitting 16th. Actually, he's passed a couple of cars. He's now 12th. So he would be... No, I'm sorry. It's not Going that's out. It's Frisch that's out. He is 17th right now. He would be out. 37 points. So he would not have a shot.
Yeah, and we know Justin Champagne's fast here. Obviously, last season came home with the race win despite not being in championship contention. And now that he does have a shot, everything rides on this race 1 for him. Because if he finds himself having just a bad stroke of luck is all it takes, then he's going to be out. So right now, Justin Champagne has to fight for his entire season because it all comes down to this race.
Benjamin Easterday has been dispatched to the ambulance incident in the Discord channel underneath us. Meanwhile, we're going to have 22 to go. No, 21 to go whenever we get the choose. That was not the choose here coming up off the corner. So, yeah, this got interesting. Because right now, even though Breyer's made his way up to 13th, David is still within 6. So we have opened up the window here. If Breyer does not finish inside the top 10 and Schildhouse finishes inside the top 5, we're going to have ourselves a ball game here in race number 2. And more than likely, it's going to be those 2 that duke it out. For the others, they're going to need a little more help, and it's going to involve that 20 being in the back of the pack.
Yeah, again, these 3 going for Champagne, not only are they going to need something big to happen to this 1 car, but the 20 as well. All they can do right now is just go try to run the race of their life, be up here at the front. You see that out of Justin Champagne right now, running 7th right now, and he's really been on a roll.
All right, we're choosing here. Coming off turn 2. Hey, Caleb.
Hello.
Did you know It's just 3 days to the Bar Visuals FTF 500 that we're going to be calling 3 days from tonight. The Bar Visuals FTF 500.
It just feels like yesterday that we had 4. And even I remember back to 3 weeks ago when we had 21. It's just crazy how fast the time's been flying here.
Yep.
I
So
can't
we'll
wait.
be the Alphabet Soup. As far as I know, I haven't been told otherwise, is going to be here on FTF on Friday night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then I think 9:30 or something along those lines. And then the big race 9:15 on Saturday, right here on FTF. Sean Butler, Anthony Alfredo get us rolling for the green flag with 21 laps to go in race 1.
And lots of quick guys up here. And if you're David Schildhouse right now, first you got to worry about not clipping the apron again like you did last time. But I think he'll be okay.
Case! Jeez. We're good.
Oh, man. I thought we were going to have another one right there. But back to David. He's got Justin Champagne to his outside. And right now, not only does he have to fend off a hard-charging 38 car, but he's got to start picking off these guys ahead of him as well.
Now 20 to go as they hit the start-finish line, and really, they're all on the same age of tires. First car on new tires, that 41 up on the outside, that is Blake McCandless. They're just 5 laps fresher. Schildhouse bobbles a little bit off 2. He's got Cadell behind him in the Pontiac, and that's 68, the Buckshot Jones look-alike, and that's 68.
And I mean, I think that 5-lap difference, if we go green for the rest of the way, that's going to be huge in terms of ground Breyer can make up. You can see there's only one car really separating them, and even then, Travis is side by side with David right now. So Breyer needs to maximize this opportunity that he has in front of him. That's go past your championship rival in David Schildhouse, and I don't think Schildhouse is going to make it easy on him.
Oh, and Travis got the wall. Schildhouse went and followed him up there. Now they're going to be 3 wide into turn 3.
Your top 2 in points right here battling side by side. Travis going to get the wall again. And now you see Schildhouse alongside. That's Garrett Smithley in the 78. And again, just fanning out here. But David, he's got to figure something out here because I think these tires are going to come into play sooner than he would like to think.
And Frisch, rather the Prad, did stop under the last caution flag. He's on the same cycle as McCandless.
And Breyer right now, it felt like just a few laps ago with that caution that this battle was really turned on its head. But all of a sudden, Breyer once again is running the table here. And he's really got this in his back pocket, as you see on board now with David Schildhouse.
Smithley up on the high side. Meanwhile, Sean Butler continues to lead. Wes Graham is in second. Champagne is third. McCandless fighting for fourth. And Breyer has caught back up to the back door of car number 20.
And this is big right now. Justin Champagne is really on a tear right now. And again, we were talking about how all he needs to go out here and do is focus on himself and try to get a win. And all of a sudden, he's inside the top 3. He has speed in that car right now, and he's trying to go underneath Wes Graham to get that second position. Not quite going to be successful right there. Wes Graham tagging the wall just a little bit. But if Justin can get around this 88 car, that's huge, because then he can just set his sights on Sean Butler, and then his destiny's in his own hands.
Remember when Travis hit the wall twice in a lap? He just sent it 3 wide on your championship leader, Briar LaPrade. Crash! Drive-throughs around. Joey Stone in the wall. Gabe Wood cautions out. They were almost 4 wide back there, coming off turn 2. And I believe by the time they got together, they were staggered 4 wide. And a couple of hard hits in the back of the field. Joey already used his fast repair and is in a whole lot of trouble now.
Get that replay right here, and I think it's just a little bit of contact that's going to cause this.
They're 4, and only one of them knew it.
Yeah, and again, when you're this spread out here at Atlanta, at Old Atlanta, it's so easy to kind of lose track of where cars are, and you can see it right here with Harry Tiller and Joey Stone. Joey's gonna, I think he comes up just a little bit into Harry, and that's gonna cause that rest of that chain reaction that sends drive through Gabe Wood around as well.
Yeah, I don't think he knew that they were 4 wide until he got hooked in the right rear. Pits are open, and it's the money stop here, and this would erase the advantage that Breyer and Blake had, as well as some others, as far as tires. We're going to have a restart with 10 to go. There's no way you go for 2 here, right? You got to go 4.
I don't know. We were talking about how that left rear on David, for an example, was still looking pretty good. I feel like maybe if you do take the right sides, then that could have an advantage in terms of track position. This should be a relatively short run.
Had a couple do it. Garrett Smithley,
right here.
Your race leader off the pit lane. 2 tires for him, 2 tires for Harry Tiller. And that's as far as your championship drivers. 3rd for Champagne, 8th Schildhouse, 9th LaPrade, Frisch 11th, going back in 15th.
This is big. This restart is really going to make or break how we're looking into race number 2, because if Breyer, can get held up in 9th and maybe lose a few spots, then again with Champagne running up in 3rd right now with fresh tires on this restart, again we could see a lot of shuffling here in terms of your point standings.
We might get one to green here this time by, potentially, maybe. We'll find out. As Rusty is still getting his laps back. He is 13 laps down right now.
It just needs
he passes the leader.
Maybe 6-7 more cautions to get back on the lead lap.
All right, Schildhouse on his last pit stop. Remember how he said it was 33 and 98? Now your right sides, 23-69. Killing the tires.
Yeah, I think that shows you how hard David Schildhouse is driving this car right now, again with Breyer right behind him. Another interesting thing right here is you see just a good mix of top and bottom here, but I think for the most part you're seeing guys favoring the top side so far, which is again is where the momentum is, and if you can really maximize those tires, which you saw everybody take just now, then you can put yourself in a good spot.
11 laps to go on the restart. And yes, we do have overtime. Unlimited attempts. Just in case. And I want to thank everybody that's come on out here to the final race. I understand that there are plans in the work for a core summer series, summer whatever you want to call it. Hope it comes to fruition, because this has been the best core season yet. Green flag, 11 to go. Sean does not get to go to outside jump. And that puts Cadell down in the grass on the apron, going to turn number 1. Oh, boy. Oh, there goes McCandless. Can he save it? No, he hits Rusty. Are you kidding me? No caution. Takeout.
And that's really unfortunate luck. Just right place, right time. All laps.
Oh, they're 3 wide. Look out, Schildhouse. He makes contact with Travis and Harry. More beating and banging. Frisch into the picture. Here comes LaPrade. They're 4 wide headed to turn 1. Caution. For what? Oh, Cosman's in the wall and going. Championship implications in the back of the field. This was right behind him. I think Cody got tipped down into the 24. And another hard hit, and it's Going that finds the short end this time. Championship implications for him. Good news, Cozy is here. Here's your replay, and they're going to be 4 wide almost, and Cosman and Cody make contact, and it's on.
Yeah, that's just terrible hit there for Gary Owen, but like you said, just another case of guys not knowing they're 4 wide, really, and then Cody and Cosman make that contact, and Gowen's right there, and you just can't do anything there.
Oh, hard hit there for Gary.
Yeah, that's a hard hit.
He has not used his fast repair yet. He's going to probably use it right here. because that car is junk. David apparently has challenged Breyer to a, quote, no balls dare. I don't know what that means or what that entails. Does it involve pitting?
I think it does.
It involves... Oh, and David stayed out! He faked him! Oh, my goodness! The back half of the field pits. But Breyer is the only championship driver. He got.
And that is big right there as well, because all of a sudden now it's going to be an uphill battle. As most everybody back here is going to be on fresh tires or fresher tires. I don't know if tires are really going to help you out all that much. And that's big, because all of a sudden Breyer LaPrade sitting in 13th outside of the top 10 with David Schildhouse just in striking distance of a top 5. And we could have a side-by-side 2-horse race going in to the final race of Core Season 5.
Taking a quick look at the adjusted points right now. David Schildhouse would be 6 points back. Goen would be 26 back. Champagne 28 back. Frisch is still out, though. He's in 9th, 33 points back.
I mean, we'll keep an eye on this, but this restart, again, is going to make or break some seasons. Guys that hang in the balance, like you said, Goen's just hanging on by a thread. Champagne even closer, only 2 points to the good. Frisch, 3 points out of being in contention right now. So they got to do something. But with Breyer back here in 13th, if he makes up just a few spots, then again, that's going to completely shift the picture.
All right, I'm not going to ignore this. Rusty, what happened off turn 2?
Why? No, hold on. I just got blamed for it by the drivers. Now the broadcast is blaming me?
No. I wasn't blaming. I was asking what happened, and that was it. I saw you get murdered. I just wanted your side of the story.
Well, I'm about 40 laps down, and I was just trying to go slow and stay on the inside as far away from the field as possible, and I still found a way to get involved in a wreck. So that's just me on the service, so we're having fun here.
What happened at the start?
I had PC issues. I tried to do a different PC to start, and then it wasn't working, so I switched to my main, and that wasn't working, so I just backed out of the race, and now we're getting some practice laps right now.
Does that mean you're going to win race 2?
No. I won't even lead a single lap in race 2, but we'll have fun.
All right. Well, Rusty, thanks for your time, and appreciate your help with the video work this week. It looked good.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
That's Rusty. He is still 14 laps down, and if you didn't see what I was talking about after this race, please go to the Core Twitter page. It's something. We've got 6 to go on the restart. Garrett Smithley is back out in front. We head to turn 1. Breyer's trying to go 3 wide in case Kallenbach slams the door.
Yeah, he was trying to go through the grass and then had the apron as about the only real estate that he could choose. So, again, an uphill battle. He's got Blake McCandless side by side with him up at the front. One of the guys hanging on by a thread, Justin Champagne right now. He's side by side on Anthony Alfredo for 3rd. And he's going to still be side by side with him, but I think that outside lane's going to have the run.
Trouble! Breyer's in it! Big crash up into the catch fence goes Case Kallenbach. Gabe Wood is in it. Blake McCandless and Breyer LaPrade. More damage to that number 1. Sliding to the pit lane. Championship implications. The damage not too bad, I don't think. But we'll see. Remember, he did not use his fast repair. Gabe Wood and Kallenbach are the 2 with meatballs.
And we'll see. That's big this late in the race if it wasn't already an uphill battle.
I don't know how in the world that Case got up there, but he gets loose. He stacks up. And then, he comes up in front of Breyer.
And again, I think that's just a case of what we've been seeing here is not really knowing that you got cars to your inside and outside. I think Case just coming up a little bit, but he really got the worst of that incident going up into the catch fence. You'll see it right here. Just gets airborne, clips that wall, and has that car right under there to wedge him. And just
by
a
the way,
tough
Breyer, you corrected me. Breyer has used his fast repair already.
Yeah.
Not sure if that was under a different caution or what, but on board with candles. Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah, good
Wow.
Lord.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, if this was on the real life side of things, you'd probably try to take some pictures of that undercarriage because you got a great look at it there.
Yeah.
But this is just absolutely gigantic right now. Again, this entire race we've just been hinging on something bad happening to Breyer, and he had to use that fast repair earlier. We knew that was going to be huge, and now being involved in an accident, he is sitting P18 right now, and being that far back right now completely shifts this championship run, where I think David right now would only be
one back.
Yeah, 1 point back of Breyer LaPrade.
And everybody...
Yeah.
Sorry to absolutely just jump right in there and drop a brick on your foot while you're talking, but everybody would be in the picture then as far as the championship's concerned. Everybody would be within that 30-point threshold that we're going to need. Going would be 21 back Champagne, 25 back Frisch, 26 back. Now, everybody would have to stay where they're at right now. Yeah. Breyer cannot lose any more spots unless he crashes again and really breaks the car. And even then, we would need to go into a couple of different overtimes because he is the last car on the lead lap. Case Kallenbach is the car behind him. Case is currently 3 laps down. Field's going to choose here off turn 2.
Yeah, and again, this is huge for Breyer. He's going to have to go full send, really. But even so, this is big for race number 2. But these guys that, again, right now, going 21 back, Frisch 26 back, Champagne 25 back, they're still going to need a lot of luck in race number 2, but as of right now, they would all still be in contention, which is a lot more than you could have said, 25 laps ago.
Gosh, I love this league.
Best league on the service right here.
No doubt about it. Smithley and Butler on your front row. This is a natural green-white checker. 2 laps to go. If they crash before the white flag, we'll do it all again. Champagne to the outside as Sean did not get a good restart for the second time in a row. He's not going to be able to get there, though. They'll be side by side, second on back. It's the Xfinity cars, 1 and 2. Smithley in first, Alfredo in second.
All these cars all over each other right now. Champagne's actually going to tag the wall. Gowen's going to get by him now. Michael P. Frisch ahead of these two as well. His championship rivals, Wes Graham, but David Schildhaus is in the picture as well. Looking back, further back in the pack, Breyer's only made up 1 spot. These guys are still all in contention.
Oh, Sean gets into Alfredo. Can he save it? No, he takes Frisch. Only Frisch involved. We stay green. It's the last lap. 3 wide for 4th. Gowen is in 3rd. That's going to give Frisch Breyer 2 more spots. Schildhaus 3 wide on the bottom. He could really use these 2. Off turn 4. Garrett Smithley, his second start in core. He's going to victory lane. He wins at Atlanta. Schildhaus finishes 5th, and we'll go to the points and see how everything shakes out. Gowen finishing 3rd is the huge upset there. I think it's going to be 4 cars fighting for a championship. None of them are going to be Michael P. Frisch. Gowen, 10 back. David, 1 back. Maybe. David is 6 back. Gowen is 15 back. Champagne is 30 back. He finished P4. He's going to need Breyer to finish last in this next race. Michael P. Frisch will not go back-to-back, which means we will have a 5th different core champion in 5 seasons.
Yeah, and I mean, it was all because of that last lap wreck with Anthony Alfredo. And when he washed back up onto the track into Frisch, Frisch was in position to transfer on. And now, again, just in 1 lap, he finds himself out. So a really tough break for Frisch, who said he just had to go out there and run his race. Does not get dealt a good hand. You're going to see it right here on the replay. But again, just a tough break for that 58 machine that he can't go back-to-back.
You'll see the contact here involving the 33 and the 32. It happens going into turn one on the last lap as they get 3 wide and just everything bundles up right there. 3 wide with Garrett and just, oh, that's a hard hit. I can't believe Champagne missed that.
Yeah, that's very impressive for him right there, but still, again, just wrong place, wrong time again for Michael P. Frisch to be involved in that. He washes back up on the track and again was displeased over the radio. But if you're Anthony Alfredo right there, you're spinning and your momentum is just naturally going to carry you up the track. So I just don't know if there's anything you can do there. Just some bad luck.
There are your results. Garrett Smithley, your winner. Sean Butler, second. Goen is third. Champagne fourth. Shieldhouse fifth. Wes Graham, a great finish for him in sixth. He had a great car all night. Gavin Cornelius seventh. Travis Brown eighth. Cosmonaut Issue ninth. Harry Tiller 10th. Remember, this is race one. We have a second one coming up after this.
Jonathan Cadell, Joey Stone with some quiet runs. Brian LaPrade, we saw get involved in a few accidents here. Going to come home in the 13th position. Cody H. Gaming 14th. Blake McCandless 15th. Michael P. Frisch coming home in the 16th position. Gabe Wood, we saw with some misfortune as well, 17th. Anthony Alfredo in that last lap accident comes home 18th. Case Kallenbach finishing in the 19th position. Rounding out your top 20, 11 laps down is going to be the 59 machine of Rusty Walrus.
And, oh, man, let's talk with our race winner, Garrett Smithley. Holy cow. How about that? Second start, and your winner in core, just like, or similar to Alfredo, who made his first win this year.
Holy cow is right. I could not believe it. I was just texting Shieldhouse earlier today and basically asked him tips because I don't run this car a whole lot. So I guess we figured it out. We took 2 tires on that last stop, and I knew that was really going to be our only shot to win. We started pole, which I still don't know how all that stuff works, but started pole and super saved for the first run, and we were getting back to 6th, and then the caution came out, and just played the strategy just right. So that was a lot of fun.
What'd you learn from race 1 to race 2? From what I learned, it sounds like these cars are pretty tight.
Cars are tight. I know that there was some talks that they were going to change the track temperature to maybe help that out a little bit. So I hope that's the case. As I said earlier, I was texting Shieldhouse and was telling him I can't stand to drive a tight car in iRacing. So I really had to kind of change my driving style, change my strategy a little bit. But like I said, we figured it out. We got some great folks on the box, Jason Loafing and Josh Mendoza, and put our 78 Trophy Tractor Chevrolet in victory lane. Thought we were going to get a BJ McLeod Motorsports 1-2 with Alfredo. Unfortunately, he got caught up there. So hopefully we can do about the same in the next run. And man, that was fun. I'll tell you what, the core is not a bore. That's for sure.
Garrett, best of luck here in race 2. Thanks for joining us. And late entry to the league doesn't matter. Garrett Smithley, race number 1.
Thanks, guys.
That's Garrett Smithley. And Caleb, why don't we talk with second place? It's Sean.
It is.
Hello.
John,
Hello.
We saw you on that last lap there with a little bit of contact with Anthony Alfredo. Talk us through that last restart.
Yeah, I told him there was a little bit of a gap because he went down a little further in the last dog leg on the front stretch, and I saw there was a little bit of space there I could fill, and then he didn't know I made the move, and it was a late move on my part, so there's no way he would have known, and we just kind of went into each other. So I took the blame for that one. He said it's all good. It's just we're just having fun. So, but it was a good race. It kind of sucks that we didn't get more than like 3 laps green at the end there. I think I would have definitely had something for Garrett, but didn't want to see those cautions come out at the end for sure. I was pretty fast starting the back and able to work the way to the front, and just chips and stack in my direction this race. But as Garrett said, they're going to make it a little bit hotter for the next one, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw a few times there in race number 1 that guys would get 3 wide, 4 wide, and not really know that, they had that many cars next to each other, and just, causing a slight bit of misjudgment. So what's been causing that? Is it just you got to pay more attention to the guys that are running around you, or is there an impediment with these cars, or what's going on?
It's just pretty much just being aware of what's going on around you. I think, especially to track this wide, all the lanes work if you know how to, work them, and especially guys in the back trying to get to the front, they're going to make a whole bunch of, I don't want to say desperation moves, but brave moves. Let's just say, I had to do a few when I was coming up through the field at the start. But you just got to know where to put the car and just put it to where people can see you, I guess. So they got spotters in here, but it's so tough if you have someone like on your quarter panel barely. It's so tough to judge where somebody is, and there were just people trying to clear themselves sometimes, it just didn't work. So it just all comes down to spatial awareness. But luckily, I was able to climb up through the first race without much incident, and looking to do the same in the second one. So first race was fun, as Garrett said. It was a fun race. These cars put on a good show, and hopefully that was a good show for everyone to watch. And hopefully with the tougher to drive cars, hotter temperatures, these things are going to be sliding around that much more for race number 2. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, absolutely a great run for you here in race number 1. Hope you can keep that momentum up. Thank you for your time.
Me too. Thanks, Caleb.
Sean Butler, driver of the number 32 Windshield Deep Machine.
There you have it. So we're going to step aside here and go to a break. Race 2 coming your way shortly, and by then we'll give you a points rundown as well. Race 2 of the Soundhead Entertainment 250 from Atlanta coming your way next here on FTF.
Was there something in my walk, how I talk, giving off the wrong energy? Was there something in my stride, too much pride, telling you to back down? Slowly, slowly you became my enemy. But you can't seem to get enough of me. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. Was there something in my walk, how I talk, giving off the wrong energy? Was there something in my stride, too much pride, setting you back down? Slowly, slowly you became my enemy. But you can't seem to get enough of me. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. too high with nowhere to fall down to. Empathy around you. Instead of looking back, you heard it all before. Now losing what you didn't know you had. Fearing what you want is nearing, but you're really trying to get away from it. Basic instincts overpowering. You still have this open. When this could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for us. When this could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for us. This could be good enough for us.
We're back here from Atlanta, and we have some points situations for you. So how this all works out. Currently, Briar LaPrade is your points leader by 6 over David Schildhouse. Goen is in third, 15 back of Briar. Champagne is in fourth, 30 back of Briar. Michael P. Frisch is P5, 41 points back. He is out of contention for the championship. So there are 4 cars left, and Caleb, realistically, 3 of them have the best shot. Champagne is the longest shot.
Yeah, and out of these 3, or 4, excuse me, like you said, Champagne, he's going to need something bad to happen to Briar David Goen, which isn't out of the realm of possibility here. We just saw it last round, but, you know, he's going to need Briar to finish, 20th on back, which is going to be difficult, and he's going to have to win, and that doesn't even include David Schildhouse here, who, again, has shown he has speed. He's going to have to finish outside of the top 10 as well. Goen is feasibly, I think, the cutoff here where Champagne mathematically is not eliminated. It's just going to be a super long shot for him to be involved here. Goen actually does have a pathway here. If Briar has a bad run, David has a bad run, and Goen can, again, get back up into that top 5 where he was running. Looking at David right now, if he were to finish, 6th on back, and Goen could get another top 3 finish, then he could be the champion here. David Schildhouse, again, he's going to have to just go out here and run the best race that he can. But Briar LaPrade, the only real clinch scenario we have right now, if he finishes 4th or better in race number 2, he will be the champion no matter where anybody else finishes. So that's what you need to watch out for. Briar LaPrade, top 4.
Oh boy. All right. Well, here we go for race 2. So, we do have a couple of new faces here in this race. Among them, Dale Reynolds has joined the program. Fly Guy has joined the program. So I think we're starting this race with more drivers than we did in race number 1. But for the most part, we're reverse grid of race number 1 with those 2 new drivers at the back of the field. So your Crazy Reverse Grid is brought to you by The Ben Crazy, providing retro videos in our 2003 and iRacing help on YouTube. Michael Cozy Jr. is your pole sitter. Rusty Walrus to the outside in row 2, the rest of this starting grid. I screwed that all up. Case is 3rd, Alfredo's 4th, Gabe Wood, Michael P. Fresh 5th and 6th. Then McCandless, Cody H. Gaming, Briar LaPrade, Joey Stone. Where the hell is Rusty going? To the back. He wants an EOL. Thanks. All right. Such a shame. Caleb.
Yeah, not surprising there out of Rusty. It's where he usually is anyways. Looking on back, though, Jonathan Cadell, Harry Tiller, Cosmin Ionescu, Travis Brown, Drive Through. Again, all these guys have speed. Looking back to David Schildhouse, Goen as well, had a great finish. Sean Butler, Garrett Smithley, and then your 2 newcomers in Fly Guy and Dale Reynolds. Again, this is going to be a lot of fun here off this restart, watching everybody kind of climb their way up through the ranks. It's what's always fun about these second races, but especially now with championship implications on the line. Briar LaPrade, with his worst finish, does have the advantage right now over David Schildhaus, but we'll see how that works out.
We'll see how everything works. 50 more laps on the board. And it's Cozy and Rusty. No, Cozy and Case on the front. No, Cozy and Alfredo on the front. Rusty dropping to the back screwed this all up. So it's Cozy and Alfredo on the front row. Alfredo was in contention to win the race, but contact got him out. Oh, hold on. Implications. Justin Champagne is not on the racetrack. Green flag.
Yeah, that's big. It was already an uphill battle for him. We'll see if he can get a few cautions here. Either way, starting to spread out already. You see Joey Stone going all the way to the top right now, and we saw last run that that's where the speed was, but again, a little bit different track conditions here. It is an hour later, so we should see some hotter temperatures and maybe more of that loose
They're
Atlanta racing.
wide. Oh, my. Look at
Case
this.
is gonna
Oh,
go around.
Case! Right in front of Briar again, and he takes him out at Schildhaus. 2 playoff cars in the wall. Look out. Here comes Garrett into it as well. Caution's out. And Case kills 2 more. Briar with big damage. Schildhaus with big damage. It's happened again. It's happened immediately.
Do you hear that? That's
a Gary Owen
Owens'
championship.
Well, he is completely clean right now, and Briar and Schildhaus might have to use their fast repairs. Lap 1. This is massive.
Kallenbach and Smithley both with meatball flags. Schildhaus might be okay, but I think Briar is in near required damage territory. Sean wants an onboard from him. We'll get to that. You see Gabe gets pushed onto the apron, and he just loses it in the center of the corner, right in the middle of the racetrack. Off Michaelis, kicks him back up to the outside. DT gets through it. Garrett Smithley had a window, and Case came down and crushed his dreams, and Gary Owens skates right on by.
And we'll another look here. You see just that slightest bit of contact is going to send that 82 into disarray. And just nowhere to go after he bounces off Blake McCandless right there for David Schildhaus and Briar LaPrade. I think David will be okay. That contact from, I believe that's Fly Guy right there in the Kurt Busch throwback didn't help him. But he's in a lot better shape than his rival, Briar LaPrade, who, again, I think he's going to have to use that fast, and he's going to be on thin ice for the rest of this race. And all of a sudden, this points lead that Briar had is just dwindling. He has not had a break here today.
Goen sits 12th. Right now, he is 7 points back on the championship in a live look. Champagne is on the racetrack, by the way. He started from the pits. He got rolling. How your championship looks right now. By the way, Schildhaus still getting his car worked on, did not use a fast repair. Neither did Briar. Wait. No, Briar did. I'm sorry, Briar did use his fast repair. Briar sits 20th. Schildhaus is 23rd now. Gary Owen is 12th. Champagne 14th. Goen is 7 back on Briar. Schildhaus is now 12 points back, and he's barely going to stay on the lead lap as a couple more cars come onto the pit lane. Huge right there. As now Briar, as you said it, on thin ice the rest of the way.
Yeah, and another thing to look at here, Briar and David sitting outside of the top 20 right now. Now, Gary Owen is in striking distance of being in the top 10. The top 10 is where you're going to make up the most points. Every spot worth 2 points each. So if Gary Owen can hypothetically work his way up into the top 10, if we were to stay how we run, which again, a lot of race left to go, Gary Owen with a finish of 7th or better at the moment would become the new core points leader and thereby the champion. Again, a lot of race left to go, but all of a sudden, an uphill battle for Gary Owen might be coming to fruition here.
I'm out of breath on lap 4. We'll look at the weather.
Wow.
We'll look at the weather. We talked about how it's starting a little bit later. We started race 1 at 9 o'clock. This one's starting at 10 o'clock. You see that track temp already up a little bit. It's now up to 80 degrees. The air temp still at 65. So it's cool, but The track is starting to gain a little bit of heat. By the way, drive-through is still trouble for him. He is on the pit lane. My guess, he didn't use his fast repair, and he needed to. Half the field got a black flag. Around goes Joey. He's on pit road. The rest of the field to turn 1.
And looking back up at the front right now, that caution was a big break for Justin Champagne. He is back on the track right now, running in the 13th position and on the lead lap. So again, a huge break for that 38 machine. Back up at the front, though, looking into Anthony Alfredo, who was running at the front early on in race number 1, and he is now taking the lead with Michael Cozy Jr. falling behind in second.
Being told that DT decided to just take all the damage repair. There you see him on the apron right now, back on the racetrack, saving his fast repair. As for Joey, he got hit by Harry Tiller, and that's what kicked him down to the grass and down to the pit lane. He is back rolling, some 26.5 seconds behind the race leaders. 3 wide, a nice little hornet's nest right here, led by Harry Tiller. Cody's in the middle of that, Champagne on the high side.
Yeah, this is a great battle going on right here. Lots of 2-3 wide racing, and you see Blake McCandless now on the inside, looking at might be 4. Justin Champagne gonna slot back into position behind Gabe Wood, and something that we're not quite used to seeing here.
Trying to
go
go
bit of
4.
contact, John, with Justin Champagne. They're gonna keep it sorted, and that was almost big.
Gabe Wood tried to go 4 wide, but Sean Butler was pretty much on him. And that prevented them from going 4 wide, but it almost caused an accident. For the lead, Michael Cozy Jr. wants it. Anthony Alfredo has it.
And looking back through the field right now, Michael P. Frisch with a fair bit of speed. Looks like Harry Tiller is going to have a run, try to move himself into the 3rd position. Stalls out there on the backstretch, still side by side. This pack of cars is just incredible. A little bit of a checkup there for Travis Brown. Did not get into the side of Sean Butler. Wes Graham has to get out of the throttle as a result. A big stack-up effect there. But again, we're sorted out. We're good.
Points implications. Breyer passes Schildhaus going into turn 1. Remember, Schildhaus did not take the fast repair. It still looks like he took a basketball to the front nose of that number 20 Chevy, as he'll actually use that high side to prevail here over Breyer, as they duke it out rather for 15th and 16th. Garrett Smithley back here as well.
And again, Gary Owen not being involved in this pack of cars up at the front is really huge for his championship hopes as well. He needed a good restart there to put himself in position for the time being, but did not get the greatest of restarts and is running right now. Looks like Cosman's going to try to pass him. Looking on back, though, David Schildhaus, Brian LaPrade just trying to work their way back up and put both of themselves back in position to get a title here.
For the lead, Cozy on the outside. It is packed up there, 3 wide, Champagne up the middle. It's like they're at a plate track here in Atlanta.
Yeah, this looks almost like the new Atlanta configuration, but still lots of 2, 3, almost 4 wide racing right now. Just able to run wherever you want. It's just why this track is so much fun. Justin Champagne's going to make a little contact, and he's going to go around.
Wes Graham in it as well, so is Sean. Oh, hold the brakes, Wes. I think he got the worst of that. Not a lot of damage. And the caution flag's back out on lap 11.
Once again, just hard racing here, and it's going to be Justin Champagne who, again, needs a near-perfect race here. A perfect alignment of events, and you see it just out of turn number 2. The car washes up just a little bit, makes contact with Harry Tiller, almost saves it, and then a little bit of contact from Travis Brown behind him, sends him down to the 32 machine of Sean Butler. Wes Graham goes around. Just tough break again.
Travis said he was trying to get out of the gas there and give him a spot. DT is the free pass. He'll get his 3 laps back. This allows Joey as well to get back to the back of the field after he went on his pit road excursion at the restart.
Champagne did a great job of keeping it off the inside wall there, and I don't know. I feel like that's just a racing deal. When you're that packed in here, again, your momentum just carries you around this racetrack, and when you're that close together, it's just bound to have something. Just great racing going on so far from Atlanta.
Pit stops here at Atlanta. for the second time tonight. Just a reminder, 4 days to the FTF Bar Visuals FTF 500. You'll see that right here on FTF. Meanwhile, we'll step aside, we'll recap, set the points, set the field, get the green flag. Here from Atlanta, we're back after this here on FTF. Well, we're back here in Atlanta. Michael Cozy Jr. still your leader. Everybody took 4 tires on that pit stop. And, well, yeah, not much has changed. At least at the front of the field. Frisch is second. Remember, he is out now of the playoff of the championship picture. Green flag. The outside did not get going other than Cozy. Oh, and Breyer I saw got squirrely. He's able to save it, but they wreck behind him. Champagne is in it, as well as Dale Reynolds, Wes Graham, and Sean Butler. Caution's out.
And just another stack up on the restart here. It all started with Travis Brown, Brian LaPrade.
And Schildhouse in this as well.
Breyer did a great job of keeping that car straight. You'll get the replay right here.
Oh, my gosh. So the outside stacked up. There goes Breyer, and they just wrecked behind him trying to lift. Schildhouse is going to be the source of this. If you watch the white car on the outside line, he punts Dale right there, and it's on. There you see Champagne gets into the back of Sean. So it was your 2 playoff drivers that kicked this whole thing off after Breyer got sideways. I believe he got a tap from Travis, and that's what got him all out of shape, and it was.
And again, man, that's a big checkup right there. Big hit by Schildhouse as well. And he didn't use his fast earlier, but he's got to be careful because that car already has damage on it. So, you know, just a little amount of contact can really turn this race upside down for David.
No doubt about it. So 15 laps are complete. Make it 16 laps. Cozy's still your leader. While we're under this caution flag, I want to thank all of our sponsors who have helped us put this show on this year. That includes the trophy that the championship winner will receive after the broadcast tonight. FTF.GG, obviously, who's been... It's been... This group, you know, it's basically the Zach Johnson show at FTF.GG, at least as far as the pushing the button side of things and the ticker and the graphics, everything along those lines. Cody H Gaming, Swan Security, Naughty Wood at naughtywoodbarbecue.com. That dude named Dale Gabe Wood, he paid for this. Team Rick, Ed Soundhead, who has 4 contigs on the car, plus the race name tonight. And SimWrapMarket for sponsoring the series. And like I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, I understand that some things are in the works to potentially have a summer series for the core over the summer. And, if that happens, more info will be available as it becomes available, I guess. And we look toward the next off season, which feels like it's 18 years away from now, which really it's only at the start of November, and then hopefully we'll get a 6th season of core up and off the ground by the time we get to the fall next year. And Caleb, I don't. There's no misinterpretation here. This is the best season of core ever. Everything is good. Yeah. The on-track action, the drivers, the broadcast, the social media coverage. It is all the best it's ever been for this league.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just at an all-time high. In 5 seasons in, it only took us this long to get our footing underneath us. But I mean, this league has a bright future ahead of it. Again, with just a great foundation for the future. We found a format, a niche, really that fits everybody. It's a fun community, a fun group of racers. Again, just everything is just fantastic about this league, and it's one of the best that you'll see on the iRacing service.
Michael Cozy Jr. and Michael P. Frisch are on the front row for the restart. 18 laps complete. Green flag.
Cozy with a big launch right there. Still side by side behind them throughout the field. And got to make sure nobody clips the apron here. We've seen that cause a few accidents. Rusty actually gets it a little bit, but he's going to keep the car straight. And looks like we'll get to turn 3 okay.
Sean jumped the start. He was a little behind the field, but he's going to have to give some spots back and then pass him again. Here they come off the corner. 3 wide in the middle of the field. Breyer in the thick of that. Trying to charge his way toward the front, but don't look too far behind. That Raptor machine, the 24 of Gary Owen, down on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make some headway. Justin Champagne right behind him. Champagne looking to the inside, but he gets back in line instead.
And coming into tonight, the battle was, the focus on the battle was between Breyer and David Schildhouse. And here, all of a sudden, Gary Owen has put together a great few runs. And all of a sudden, he is slotted currently as they run. At least off that restart, he would be second in points right now. But tough right here. He's going to be bottom of 4 and going to fall back right here. So tough for Gary Owen. He's going to lose a bunch of spots here in turn 1.
Dale Reynolds got the wall and lost a couple at the back of the field as well, coming off turn number 2. There you see Dale trying to get it back up to speed right now. Actually, he got into Joey Stone, I think, because Joey's now off the pace. And no, Joey just put it in the fence, getting into the corner, and dropped way back. But right now, back toward the middle of the field, which is where all these playoff guys are. Breyer, by the way, up to P3. Schildhouse is stuck in 14th, and he has a wall of race cars in front of him to pass.
It's really tough right now for Schildhouse. He hasn't had the greatest of runs here in this second race, and just feels like the track's almost blocked at the moment for that 20 machine. We saw Justin Champagne. He tried to make a big 3-wide mood. He's going to do it again. In the middle right there. He's going to come up on Cody just a little bit. Really tight squeeze into Michael P. Frisch. Really courteous move. Going to pull off the track. He doesn't want to interfere with some of these championship drivers. And that's 2 spots for Justin Champagne right there. He's going to get around Cody Hicken right here as well.
Slides up in front of him. Meanwhile, Harry Tiller has taken the race lead away from Michael Cozy Jr. Breyer restarted in the 9th position, and he is now P3 charging toward the race lead. And I'm sure Breyer would love to rebound from race 1 with a W here in race 2 to clinch the title.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the big number that we have to focus on. Again, we talked about it at the top of the show here. If Breyer finishes 4th or better, he is your champion, regardless of if David Schildhouse wins or Gary Owen wins, something like that. 4th or better for Breyer LaPrade, and he is coming out here and he's doing that. Does have that fast repair that he's used. All he has to do is keep this car out of trouble. He has the pace. We all know he has the pace. And going to concede this spot to Travis Brown. Still side by side at the moment, but as of right now, Breyer LaPrade just in pristine condition.
See the battle for 5th right behind him. That's Alfredo and Gabe Wood. Side by side. Meanwhile, for the lead again, here's Cozy on the bottom of the racetrack.
And you see Cozy trying to get around Harry right now. Just didn't quite have the run there. You see Harry's been arcing his corner in differently, where he's entering high and slowly but surely coming down to the inside. Arcing that corner a lot differently than Michael Cozy Jr., who is just doing the traditional up against the wall, go all the way down to the bottom lane. You see, he kind of sticks with the middle. And
Fly Guy and Sean had some contact in the back, but were able to keep it going. I wonder here, Caleb, if Breyer is saving the tires by using the bottom. He's been using that bottom a lot. He's lost a couple of spots by doing so, but I wonder if he's trying to save the tires in case we get a green flag run. Problem is, 3 spots back, car number 20 is in the rearview mirror.
And they almost just had a big moment coming out of turn number 2. That 68 of Jonathan Cadell actually got into the back of Anthony Alfredo, lifted the rear tires off the ground, and somehow Anthony Alfredo kept that car straight. And again, that's right in the thick of it here with Breyer and David Schildhouse, and they've already been collected in some other people's mess already here in race number 2. But yeah, if you're David Schildhouse right now, you see Breyer LaPrade, you see that you have the speed right now, as you said, Breyer here, maybe taking a little easier on the tires, because in the long run, that's what you're going to need. I just don't know if we're really going to see that long run, because, you know, anything can happen here, and as we've seen in Core over this long season.
We've already gone 10 laps here under this green flag run. I believe that one of the longest green flag runs of the day. And the other side of the coin is the fact that maybe Schildhouse has been saving his stuff and Breyer killed his stuff to get to the front, and now he's paying the price.
Absolutely within the realm of possibilities here. We're looking at about 17 laps into this run. If you remember back to race number 1, this is around the time we saw Blake McCandless come into the pit lane, this stint in the race, and we got that caution immediately. But this is where we start to see pit strategy, tire strategy begin to unravel just a little bit. And if you're one of these championship contenders, you definitely have to be keeping that in the back of your mind.
And Schildhouse is still marching his way toward the front. He sits P8 right now. Alfredo right in front of him, and everybody in front of him except for Justin Champagne are on older tires, even if it's just by really a lap under green. And Breyer, he is still, Caleb, dropping back. They are 3 wide. McCandless just backs out of it. Breyer is 13th and still plummeting.
Yeah, this is bad right now for Breyer LaPrade. You got to think maybe he starts thinking about coming to the pit lane. Here comes Blake McCandless again. We saw he was the first guy to come down last time, and he's going to do that once again. So first car on the pit lane, and as we were talking about, this is where we might start to see this unravel just a little bit.
Right now, if points were to stay where they were at and we stopped a tie for the championship between Breyer and Schildhouse, Breyer would get the championship because he has the most wins. That's the first tiebreaker. So Schildhouse has to get by Alfredo at least to have a shot here.
Yeah, and that's absolutely, the forefront.
You know what? You know what I just heard Breyer do? I heard him put the clutch in, getting into the corner. He's trying to save fuel.
Yeah, that's absolutely a strategy here. If you can save yourself a stop, then by all means. I just don't know how that's going to affect tire wear and such as well, because, here that does play such a big role. I don't know. If you're David Schildhouse right now, you absolutely just got to figure out a way to make up spots, because once again, you don't have that tiebreaker, and you got to do anything to put yourself in position to do so.
Now, if a caution were to come out before he comes onto the pit lane, that could open up the window as well, because Breyer would be stuck in traffic and Schildhaus would have a track position advantage. Going pitting, so is Cody H Gaming. So 2 cars going to be pitting, one of them with the championship on the line. No speeding when they get to the pit lane, so no black flags for either driver. That's got to be the other problem for these guys. You have to make sure you don't speed getting onto pit road.
And a clean green flag pit stop. I feel like a broken record when I come on every broadcast and say this, but it can make or break your race in that one mistake can cost you, 2 or 3 cars. And with how packed up we've been here today, as you see Travis Brown now going to split down onto the pit lane. With how grouped up we've been today, that can be the difference between running right now in 4th position or all the way back in 11th right now. So absolutely crucial.
Gabe Wood is going to pit. He is 3rd on the racetrack. So it looks like we are going to see green flag pit stops. Question is, can we get through them all? Look at this battle. Cadell and Champagne side by side. Schildhaus and Alfredo right there as well. Schildhaus trying to go 3.
And he has
and
the
he will.
Run too. What a
Oh
great
my
move
goodness.
right here. He keeps his foot in it. And now all of a sudden, Justin Champagne, Jonathan Cadell on his inside. Those are spots that David Schildhaus so desperately needs. And all of a sudden, move the 20 car into the podium.
And he's praying for a yellow like that. Alfredo down to the inside. Can he save it? No, he's going to come back into traffic. Nobody's behind him, though. We stay green. The gap was too big, and Schildhaus had it right there. He would have needed a caution. He didn't get it because there was nobody in the area. Alfredo gets turned again in a position inside the top 5, and he's going to need to pit more than likely. Does not have a meatball. Meanwhile, Cadell's pitting, and here's your battle for the lead.
Right now, Harry and Cozy have just been going at it. And this has been one of the best battles that I've witnessed on this platform. I mean, just side by side, lap after lap, runs, shots taken at each other. This has just been fantastic racing up at the front.
Trouble on pit road. Cadell is around, and he just left. Cadell got clobbered by Wes Graham, got into the back of him and turned him. Graham did not get a penalty, and Cadell just left the session. Oh, man, that stinks because he was having such a good run. How about this? Oh, 2 tires from Champagne.
Yeah, if you're Justin Champagne right now, this is must win for you. Obviously, you need Breyer to have something happen to him, but if you're Justin Champagne, all you can do is go out there and try to win, and that's a must-win strategy for him. Looking back up at the front right now, Cozy and Harry still going at it. I don't know if I see any signs of these two stopping anytime soon with how they're racing.
Yeah, Cozy now your race leader. By the way, Frisch is on the pit lane right now. He's down and away. 2-tire call for the 58, even though he doesn't have a shot at the title. Here's Schildhaus. He makes it. As far as pit road speed, we'll see if Breyer decides to pit. He's going to continue to stay out. Now, remember, we heard him trying to save fuel. We're at 10 laps to go right now.
And before Schildhaus came in, he did have the advantage over Breyer, and this shifts it back into Breyer's favor. If he can make this strategy work, he wouldn't exactly have the greatest position, but, if he has that spot over Schildhaus, then that's all that really matters. Looking back, I mean, he's got a nice cushion. Looks like 9th would be Joey Stone, and the margin of that's almost half this racetrack. So he's just in his nice little comfortable bubble right now, running his own race, and if he can make the strategy work, it's going to pay off for him.
Schildhaus took 4 tires on that pit stop. He's now 18th on the racetrack, 4 seconds behind Garrett Smithley, who's in front of him, who pitted 2 laps ago. Make it 5 laps ago. So I wonder if Schildhaus may be cooked right now because he decided to wait to come onto the pit lane. This time by 7 laps to go. We're still side by side for the lead here off turn number 2.
And right now it's almost a 3-second gap to the car in front of him, Wes Graham. Desperately in need of a caution. He has a great tire advantage. 8 laps to go.
Here comes Cozy.
We're just not going to have that kind of time.
Cozy to the pit lane. No black flag rather for him. And laps are whittling down. And Briar LaPrade is trying to stretch it on fuel. Harry Tiller, your race leader, is going to come in this time by. We'll see how this works for car number 1. Drive-through will take over your race lead. Fly Guy is in second. Half a second behind him, and he's coming to pit road. Fly Guy is. So put the 77 out in front.
And again, this would be a great story for drive-through. He's one of these guys that I don't believe has won since we've been on iRacing. So he's desperately thirsty for a win here today, and right now in position to do it. The 77 machine.
So here comes the 77 onto pit road. Dale Reynolds takes the lead, your Season 1 champion. Missed the first race, had some surgery earlier this week. Wasn't going to run, and then saw the action from race 1 and decided, you know what, I want to be a part of this to end the season. So hopped onto the sim for race number 2. And here he is, your race leader, 6 seconds in front of Sean Butler. Fresh got a piece of the wall. And he is really out of shape. He got put into the wall racing McCandless. McCandless was the one that got him up there. And Fresh left. His championship hopes are already done.
And
Here comes Sean.
Another tough break.
And Sean's spinning out of pit road. And he's out of fuel. He had to tow.
This is big right now because that's the guy you got to keep an eye on. He's running second right now, but does he have enough to stretch? I mean, he is just fully in the clutch right now.
Well, look at this. Look at this. Briar, here comes Champagne. This is for position. Rounding outside. So Briar staying out, stretching the fuel. He's still going to lose spots.
And this is huge. Justin Champagne right now.
He's pitting.
Oh, no.
LaPrade.
This puts David right back in this. If he could get around Briar and build a buffer, then he would be the champion.
Well,
right now,
here's the thing. We're coming to 2 to go. Dale's on the back straightaway right now, coming into turn 3. He's got a 6-second lead over McCandless. Dale is trying to stretch it. He last pitted 32 laps ago. Popsicle sticks at the start-finish line. 2 laps to go. Shieldhouse is 6th. Alfredo is off the pace. What happened to him? He's broken turn 2. DT put him in the wall off the corner. He's stopping in the middle of the back straightaway on the apron. We stay green. McCandless still charging. 3.5 back. Oh, and Dale's out. Dale's out of fuel. Here comes Candles. He's got a second lead over Garrett Smithley. He's about to lap Briar. Briar is 19th. Shieldhouse is 4th. This could give David Shieldhouse the title. Look at this. He's making a pass for position for 3rd. White flag in Atlanta.
This is David Shieldhouse's dream right here. That strategy that didn't work out for Briar LaPrade, and all of a sudden, on the fresh tires, has crawled his way back up through the field out of turn number 2. David Shieldhouse may have just walked himself in to a Core Season 5 championship.
Through 3 and 4 for the final time. McCandless into turn number 3. Shieldhouse takes second away from Garrett Smithley. Lap 2 late for the win, but I don't think he cares. Blake McCandless wins race 2 of the Ed Soundhead 250. And David Shieldhouse is your Core Season 5 champion.
And it was looking like an uphill battle for David Shieldhouse. He had to make up the margin.
Look at that reaction.
I think he just heard the news.
Yep.
But unofficially right now, by our readings, David Schildhouse.
By 15 points.
Yeah, 15-point margin back to Briar LaPrade. David Schildhouse is your Season 5 core champion.
Man, oh man. Blake McCandless won the race off of strategy. Schildhouse, I take it back. Schildhouse had the right thing. He had the right thing going. I thought there was no way. But he took the 4 tires, remember, and a couple of guys took 2. And he used those 4 tires and marched his way to the front of the pack. What a race. What a season. David Schildhouse, your Season 5 core champion, presented by SimWrapMarket.com. Your 5th different champion in the 5 seasons of core. Schildhouse, the All-Star race winner this year. Won at Talladega as well right before that. And his march to the championship rode off of that 3-week stretch. Yeah, the All-Star race didn't count for points, but his finishes at Dega and Watkins Glen, 1st, 5th, 3rd, and 2nd. A 2nd at the first trip to Daytona, rather the last race at Daytona. And David Schildhouse has done it all. Blake McCandless gets his 2nd win of the season, by the way. Won at Homestead on fuel. Wins the race here at Atlanta as well. Your Mr. Irrelevant, if you will, your Carl Edwards. And Schildhouse is going to burn it down to the ground if it kills him.
Yeah, I think that's as well-deserved as it gets. It was a big gamble to stay out there, and yeah, he's just going to ride that thing till it blows up. And big gamble, and Briar LaPrade not being able to stretch the fuel strategy gives David Schildhouse the championship, and just heartbreak for Briar. 2 years in a row, comes into Atlanta with, a huge shot at getting the championship, and 2 years in a row, snake bitten.
How does Core Season 5 champion sound?
Oh my God, are you sure?
I mean, if Briar somehow had a championship lead after finishing 18th and you finishing 2nd, then I don't know what to tell you. Our math and DT's math line up. You are the champ.
Let's go, man. I'm telling you, and Jacob, this has been an interesting week in sim racing, and it has progressively gotten better every day since Monday. And now to be a core champion is just unreal. I didn't think 4 tires was the right call. I didn't think I was going to have enough time, but we were flying. And I wasn't even really paying attention. I was just trying to figure out where Briar was. And he's saying he was trying to make it on fuel, and then he wasn't. And I'm absolutely shocked right now. But this was the most memorable season of core in core history, the greatest championship fight this league has ever seen. And I absolutely love the core. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
I'm still at a loss for words because, to be completely honest, I was questioning the call, the 4-tire call there after a lot of guys had already made the stop. But Briar trying to make it on fuel, I think, is what put you in the best spot when he came up just short.
I've spent so much of this race on the back foot after the lap 1 wreck. I didn't take my quick repair. I had a feeling I was probably going to need it later. I just need to get some track position, and I knew, once we got sort of spread out, whenever we came down pit road, I was going to take it. The car was still driving okay with all that damage, but I knew I needed a clean car. For the tire wear and the way this track works, even with 10 laps, I felt like 4 tires was going to be pretty quick. I just need to get through the traffic, and I guess I did it good enough, but what a season. So many ups and downs, and I can't say enough about Briar LaPrade. I mean, the dude is just, he's a machine. He's so good. He missed like half the season and still almost won the championship. He's so good. I mean, all the title contenders, Gary Owen, what a season for Gary. I love Gary. Justin Champagne, we had our little mix-up in Martinsville, but he makes me elevate myself to a different level because he's really good, and I like Champagne. And Frisch had a really good shot at it too, and it kind of got wiped out. But all you can ask for, Jacob, is to race against the best people that you can, the highest level of competition that you can find, to really judge yourself and see how good you really are. And racing here in the core does exactly that for me.
David, I'm glad you won the championship. Does this compare to anything else? Is this close to anything else that you've done in your sim career?
This is one of the most unique championships, for sure. The core is it's so unique. It's so special. It's such a storied league with such a great history that spans even beyond iRacing. So to put myself in the sort of company of people who have been a champion of this league before, and there's some really big names, this one is really special for me. So from me to everybody out there who watches and supports the core, to everybody who puts this league on and puts the time and heart and effort into it to broadcast it, DT and everybody, Ben Easterday for adminning it, and everyone who plays a role in this, big or small, you have my absolute utmost respect, and I'm just so honored to be a part of it. A big thank you to Market Rebellion, everybody at Alpha Prime Racing, and the children are losing their frickin' minds over here. Everybody's going crazy. It's pandemonium here. We're champions of the core. That'll never get old to me, Jacob. It will never get old.
Your core Season 5 champion, David Schildhouse. David, congratulations.
Thank you, Jacob, and Caleb, and everybody behind the scenes. Thank you so very much, man. It means a whole hell of a lot for me to be a champion of this league.
There you have it, David Schildhouse, fifth different champion of the league, and well, what the heck? We'll talk with our race winner, Blake McCandless, with Caleb.
Yeah, the 71 machine here, spoiling the party with all eyes on the championship fight. Blake, you play the fuel cards right and come out of here with a win. Talk us through your point of view from the Underdog Fantasy Machine.
It was kind of a chaotic night. Obviously, race one didn't go our way. Made some mistakes and just didn't get the right end of that race. And then this one, we just pit at the right time. First off, I got to apologize to Michael Frisch because he basically had this race won. He had 8-lap fresher tires and was making a pass on me with a couple laps to go. And I just moved up. I didn't mean to, but I got tight and ran him into the wall and destroyed his race. So I do feel bad about that. Frisch is always a good dude, and I don't want to race him like that. So apologize to Frisch and everybody over there. But yeah, we just when we made that run, I kind of knew there was going to be a group that was going to try to save and make it to the end, and a group that was going to hope for a caution. And I figured that we should kind of not split both runs in half, but kind of short pit by maybe a lap or two for that last run, because I just eventually people were staying out so long that they weren't going to have a lot of laps to make up time on their fresh tires. So we just kind of split that right down the middle. And aside from Frisch, that ended up being the difference. I think Schildhouse ended up pitting on he pit lap 40 or so, 41, and we pit on lap 31. So we just we got the fresh tires when we needed. We didn't have a caution, and we kind of just played the balance of it perfectly, because obviously when I pit, I didn't have track position. I was in 10th or 15th or so, 3 or 4 seconds behind the leader. So I knew we had to try something to gain some time, and all the cards ended up working out like a Underdog Fantasy multiplier.
Yeah, and I mean, looking through at your season right here, obviously you started off really hot with that win at Homestead, and then you follow that up with a few great finishes. But then over the middle of the season, kind of fell into a little bit of a slump where you were, looking at finishes, barely inside the top 10 there. How do you rate the season for yourself as a whole?
I just wanted to come in here and have fun, because that's what Core's about, and that's exactly what we did. We had some fun, even some of the races where, we had a good string of bag of luck, even the first race tonight where we just got caught up in stuff, and, you make your own luck, but, sometimes you don't, and you're just a victim of circumstance, and that happened to us a couple times. But all in all, I mean, we won 2 races, especially tracks where you could rip the wall. I mean, Homestead and Atlanta, I knew were kind of some of the best tracks that we were going to have. And but hey, course about fun. I came in here, I had fun. I appreciate all you guys putting everything on and putting up with everything week to week and making these races because they've been a lot of fun, and I can't wait till it comes back around.
That's Blake McCandless. He's going to end this season with a W. Back to you, Jacob.
That he will, and we'll talk with the man. I guess a Coca-Cola bottle of gasoline to make it to the end. Briar LaPrade, I thought it was going to work, and then the field caught you coming to 2 laps to go.
Yeah. I thought it was going to work. I was watching Caps. I had it over on my right monitor, and it kept dipping down. And then towards the end, it just started slowly just not dropping as much as I wanted it to, the refuel count. So it is what it is. We tried. Definitely threw. So they might as well just put me in the MLB because I can throw hard. That's for sure. But no, it was fun. David earned it. I don't know how in the world he pitted with 10 to go and drove all the way to second. That was crazy. That was a hell of a drive. So David definitely earned that one, so that was fun. But hey, we'll try again next season. Try and get a championship.
I hope you had fun. I know fun is the name of the game here in Core, but we ended with a green flag run. I didn't think that was going to be possible after race 1.
Yeah, that was that great night. Honestly, I had fun. But the first race is kind of just brawling, just kind of wrecking here and there, just normal, just having fun, whatever. It's iRacing. So second race we raced for a championship. So. Yeah, everything. Fuel strategy. Everyone's just trying to save some tire and just see what they got, and it was perfect. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better championship race. It had some drama, so I wanted to make it fun. We made it fun, and I didn't end up on top, but it is what it is. But yeah, sucks that we blew a 20-point lead or something like that. But like I said, I wanted to make it fun, so yeah, I think we definitely did that. Not on purpose at all. I definitely threw. I really tried saving fuel and definitely ran out. But it is what it is. First race, I just didn't have any luck. I kept getting wrecked and just caught up and stuff. Second race started off lap 1, me and David, and yeah, just didn't play the strat right. And like I said, it is what it is. Had fun. So congrats to David. Great guy. Earned it. So we'll try it next season.
Briar, best of luck next season, and if you make all the races next year, you might have a shot at the championship. Because I tell you what, Homestead being a goose egg really cost you.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 goose eggs, so I mean, the drop helps. This time it helped me in the contender series. It didn't, so that was the reason why I missed the first 2. So it is what it is. But yeah, if I didn't miss 2 races, we definitely could be having a different talk and definitely better mood. But yeah, it is what it is. Had fun. But like I said, we'll try again next season. And I couldn't believe the season I had. We finished, do you look at the points? It's like 76 points, 76, 76, 139. I think it was Talladega, 76, 73, something. I don't know. It was crazy. We had like an average finish of 2 or something, or second place, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty good season. I was happy with it. Just laid back, had fun. So looking forward to it again next season.
Nonetheless, congrats on the insane run of consistency this season. P2 in the points, and we'll see hopefully for a season 6. Brian, congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you guys behind the scenes as well for doing this and making it look good, of course. And yeah, just can't thank you guys enough. And hopefully we'll see you guys next season.
That's Brian LaPrade, P2 in the championship, P18 on the racetrack after the strategy just doesn't work. Caleb, the season is done. My heart is broken. My Wednesdays will never be the same again.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but just far and away, this was the best season of Core. You see your final points right there with David Schildhouse, your champion. But, I mean, just every week we had a show, we had thrilling battles, and what a way to end it. 5 guys whittled down to 3, and the cream really rose to the crop here. David Schildhouse, just what a fashion to win it in. With 10 laps to go, we thought he was dead in the water, and he comes out and wins this championship. As a whole, I mean, just great momentum to build upon. This is, again, I just have nothing other to say than this was the best this league has ever been, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the future.
Those were our finishing interviews brought to you by that dude named Dale. Classic NASCAR gaming done right. Oh my. Well, I guess it's time to go get thrown out of an Applebee's, huh?
Yeah, something like that. We have a fun week ahead of us, but man, I'm sad our schedule won't include this league.
Well, hopefully we can beg Ben enough and we can get something started before you know it. And Core will be back soon. The drivers had a lot of fun this season. The series was fun, and I cannot wait for what's coming up in a potential season 6 and in a potential summer series as well. Don't forget about that 500-mile thing at Daytona this weekend. We're doing the Soup Friday night. The real race is Saturday. You'll see it all here on FTF. I want to thank all of our sponsors one last time. FTF.GG for putting on the shows each and every week. Cody H Gaming, Swan Security, Naughty Wood at NaughtyWoodBarbecue.com. That dude named Dale. Gabe Wood paid for this, of course. Team Rick, Ed Soundhead, SimWrapMarket sponsoring the whole series for us this season. Appreciate them. Appreciate having them along for the ride. For David Cornelius and Ben Easterday, and put this whole thing on in just a matter of weeks. For Zach Johnson, our producer, Eric Messer on socials, Caleb Hoffman alongside me, I'm Jacob Pitts. David Schildhouse, your Core Season 5 champion. Thanks for the ride.